Now, Hurricane Ida, a powerful Category 4, is hitting the coast of the U.S. state of Louisiana. Authorities are warning of extremely dangerous storm surge and catastrophic winds. The storm gathered strength as it approached land to be one of the most ferocious hurricanes to hit Louisiana since 1850. There were long lines at New Orleans airport as people tried to get away. More than 200 flights have been affected by the severe weather, with dozens cancelled. Those hoping to make it out by land have been caught in gridlocked roads and highways. Some petrol stations have run out of fuel and stores have been busy as people head out of town.
Been very busy. As far as I can tell, we're the only game in town. Everybody's closed early. I think most people close at 5. We're here to 9. We're just going to ride it out, and then we've got a lot of work to do to prepare for the storm before it hits the fan.
Now, Phil Lavelle joins us live from New Orleans. So what does it look like there now, Phil?
Well, you can probably see the gusts of wind coming in. We're getting the rain, but we are still hours away, probably 4 or 6 hours. I mean, these things are unpredictable, right? But we think 4 or 6 hours from the main storm arriving. But at the moment, this is, the proverbial calm before the storm, because things are going to get bad, and they're going to get very bad in the next few hours. Ida is barreling toward the coast. We believe she's around about 100 kilometers, give or take, from the mouth of the Mississippi River. She is now a Category 4. She underwent that rapid change as she went across the Gulf of Mexico. Those warm waters really like pouring gasoline on a fire. She went from Category 2 to Category 4. She is currently sustaining winds of around 240 kilometers an hour. That is only 11 kilometers an hour short of being a Category 5. And to put that into context, when Katrina hit, Katrina actually made landfall as a Category 3. So already Ida is currently way stronger than Katrina was, even though Katrina was later upgraded to 5. But this is very much expected to be upgraded to Category 5 as and when it lands. Now, the current path as it comes towards New Orleans is going to take in a number of oil refineries. There are hundreds of them in the Gulf of Mexico. That is a real problem for obvious reasons. So oil production has stopped. Pretty much all of it has stopped. Gas production has stopped while they try to pass out this storm. The storm is going to pass to the west of New Orleans along the current projection, which is an issue in itself. You see, Katrina went to the east. This is going to go to the west, which puts the city to the east of the storm. And it is those eastern winds that are particularly ferocious. They are particularly treacherous and dangerous. You do not want to be among those eastern winds. But New Orleans is set to be among those eastern winds. The big difference is the flood defences now are much stronger than they were when Katrina hit. We saw all of that huge storm surge, which caused all of that flooding. They spent 15, 16 years building and spending billions of dollars building those flood defences up. So the feeling is that New Orleans itself, the metropolitan area, will probably be OK. There may be some flooding, but nothing like we saw last time. The problem is when you get beyond the city limits, and then you're going to have some real issues.
So have people already got out of the line of fire of those eastern winds, been evacuated or left at this point?
Some have. I mean, it's a double situation here. You've got the voluntary evacuations within the city because they feel it's pretty OK. And then you've got the mandatory evacuations elsewhere. I mean, just anecdotally, I drove in last night from Texas late at night, about midnight. It was a 6-hour drive. When I was 3.5 hours away, still from New Orleans, that is where the traffic at that time of night was backing up. So it was taking hours, thousands and thousands of cars, people fleeing. But like I say, the problem is when you get beyond the safety of those flood defences, you get to the areas where we're not only are we below sea level, but we're way below sea level, so they're more liable to be flooded. People who have been told you have to leave. This is a life-altering storm, a monster storm, which is pretty much another way of saying you need to go because you could die. Many people are staying, and they're staying for a number of reasons. First of all, they may not have the means to leave, the financial means, or anywhere to go. Secondly, the only option they really have are the evacuation centres. But COVID is such an issue here. The infections are so high, the vaccinations are so low that people could put themselves at risk of catching COVID. And then, of course, there is the risk of looting. But just to put that into context, if you get maybe 1.2 meters of water in your home, that's a problem. It's going to be wet. If you get what they're expecting, which is 2.7 to 3 meters, that is an entire floor submerged. People have to go to another level. If they've not got another level, they have to go to the roof, like we saw with Katrina. The authorities say you're going to be on your own for 72 hours. This is going to be a real mess, and everyone knows it's coming, and it is coming thick, hard, and fast, and it's going to be here in the next few hours.
All right, let's hope people stay safe. Thanks so much, Phil Lavelle.